to the Tatted Tatter Crochet and Tatting podcast. My name is Stephanie and I'm coming to you from La Mirada, California, here in the LA Orange County area. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much to those who watched my first episode. This is episode number 2. And for those who liked and commented and subscribed, I'm just incredibly touched that people are liking the video, and I'm really excited because I'm loving doing it, so I'm really glad that people are enjoying watching it. The animals have already come to distract us. So please do continue to comment and to subscribe and like and all those things. I've already gotten recommendations for CrocheTalongs and other podcasts to watch, and so it's been so much fun. Every time a notification from YouTube pops up on my phone, I get really excited. So thank you all. Welcome. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about before we get started, and that's, you may have noticed if you watched the first video in my intro that I have different music at the beginning now. And the previous song was written by my husband, but he wrote me a new song, and it's actually based on a song that he started writing when we first started dating, and we just celebrated our 7-year dating anniversary yesterday, and so it's just really special, and it's great, and I love him. Oh, the dog really wants to go outside. She's got to go bark at something. You want to come sit with me? Come do our introductions? Say hello, everyone. This is Peanut. But yeah, so that was just really meaningful for me. He is a member, runs a band called the 8-Bit Jazz Heroes, and so I will of course link to them if you want to hear some more of their music. They do jazz versions of video game music, and also like Disney songs and TV theme songs and popular, you know, stuff like that. I just can't think of the word I'm thinking of. But anyway, you should check them out. They're great. You gonna get back down now? Say bye-bye, Peanut. Bye-bye. I don't think she likes it when I do that, so go on. Get. Ugh. Good girl. Okay, so let's get started with what I'm wearing. So tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and I thought I would do some Valentine's Day themed stuff. Since none of my finished objects this week were wearables, we'll talk about that later. This is my peekaboo scarf, which the pattern is from Esther of Cute as a Button Crochet. And this was my first make of 2018. It was the first thing I made for myself after Christmas. The color does not show up well on, this red does not show up well on camera. Back here looks good. Yeah, so it was the first thing I made for myself, and I really love it. It's got fringe. It was a relatively simple pattern, but some really great textures. I'll have to post a picture of it so you can see. You can kind of see here. It has the ribbing, which you do from a 3rd loop and a half double crochet, and then just a really interesting kind of textured stitch in between. So it's from Esther of Cute as a Button Crochet. It's CAAB Crochet in a lot of places. You can find her. She has a lot of nice patterns. And this is in Red Heart Super Soft in the color Really Red. And so I like it, and it's perfect for Valentine's Day. I realized over Christmas that I didn't have anything red, and so after Christmas, of course, I made something red. It's perfect for Valentine's Day, and I got my sweater that has all the hearts on it, so Valentine's Day. The other, what I'm wearing, is one of my tattoos, and so I'll post a picture of it here. It's right here on my my forearm, and it's very meaningful for me. I got it right when I was going into graduate school, and it's from a scripture verse from the Christian New Testament. It's Galatians 3:28, and it's, "For there is neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, male and female, for we are all one." And so the symbols, there's a male-female symbol, and the Jewish star and a Christian cross, and then the equality symbol in the E, just to kind of represent that we as humanity are really all a part of one world. And I had a difficult time transitioning into graduate school because I was going into a field that is mostly men, and some believe that only men can do. And so I just needed something to remind myself and to remind anyone who sees it that we are all a part of this together, and that all people can be a part of whatever it is, can do whatever they want to do. Well, this is my feminism tattoo, my equality tattoo, which is really meaningful for me this week, which is why I picked it to tell you about it, because I had an important interview this last week that I finally passed. I'm in the ordination process in the United Methodist Church, and so I'm moving on to the next step, and that is not an easy thing for anyone. They make it intentionally difficult, and I won't get into all of the details on here, but anyway, it was very meaningful, very important, and so that's why I wanted to show you that tattoo. I got that in April of 2012 when I was living in Richmond, Virginia, so Charlie from River City Tattoo did that for me. I also was really proud of it because I'm not an artist, like a drawing artist, but I came up with the concept, and then he turned it into something that looked like a tattoo, looked like art. So I'll put a link to them as well. He does a lot of really good work, River City Tattoo. So let's move on to finished objects. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and it totally snuck up on me. And I had forgotten that a friend had asked me to do some commissions for her, so I had to send those off on Saturday. Today's Tuesday. So I did, recorded a video of that, and I will put that up to show you all the details. And then of course all of the links will be down below. So here's those. Okay, so I am gonna show you some of my finished objects. I'm recording this earlier in the day because I have to get these in the mail so that they can get to Virginia by Tuesday. But I have two to show you. My friend Sarah messaged me on Facebook a while ago asking if I would make her some stuffies for her wife for Valentine's Day. And so she asked for two different things. And the first one was a penguin. And so I have made Howie. So this is Howie the Holiday Penguin pattern from Stacy Trock of Fresh Stitches. I just left off the Christmas hat because it's a Valentine's Day penguin, not a Christmas penguin. And I used, for the yarn, the black and white are Loops and Threads Impeccable Solids, because I had those left over from something else I was going to make and then didn't. And I used some of it in the fox, actually. That's behind me. And then the yellow for the beak and the feet is Vanna's Choice in lemon, left over from an Afghan I made. And then the eyes are Vanna's Choice in sage, which I have left over from the other animal that I made. And these are 12mm safety eyes that I got from Fresh Stitches from Stacy on her website. And he's just so cute. He's so squishy. He is a lot bigger than I thought he was going to turn out to be, because you make all the pieces first and then the body, and then you sew it on and then stuff it and finish off at the top. And when I was making all the pieces, I was like, oh, this is going to be a little small. And then I made the body and I was like, nope. And then I started stuffing him and I was like, oh, he's fat. Which is great. I think he's really cute. I think Sarah's going to love him. And I love him already. And I'm sad he's leaving, but he's going to a good home. So that's Howie, the holiday penguin, without the holiday. And then the other thing that I made that I'm super excited about, because I absolutely love it, is this unicorn. The pattern names her Emmy, and so why not? So this is Emmy the unicorn, and I'll put some pictures up that I'm going to take before I put them in the mail. But I think this is so awesome. Like, look at how cute this is. I made the tail really long. And this is actually, if you look behind me, that horse is the same pattern. And then they released kind of an extra for free to give you the information on how to do the horn. The pattern calls for a star on the belly, but since it's Valentine's Day, I did a heart instead. And then also like recommendations for how to do the mane and the tail. And so the pattern is from my Chrissy dolls. Let me me put you down. So this is the pattern for the horse, and it comes in all different kinds of languages. I don't know which ones. I obviously bought the English version. But so this is the pattern for the horse, My Chrissy Dolls, and it's called Horse PM. And so that's how I made that horse. And then it comes with the Valentine's Day, not Valentine's Day, it is Valentine's Day, but this is a unicorn. The unicorn extra. And so this is free. I only printed out the page that I needed because I didn't want to waste ink and paper, but it shows you how to do the star and the horn, and this is free. And then this is a paid pattern. I'll put up how much it was because I can't remember. But I got it on Etsy. And I think it's on Ravelry too, but that was before I discovered Ravelry. So, oh, and the Howie the Penguin pattern is free, by the way, from Stacy on Ravelry. I could show you him too. So this is the Howie the Holiday Penguin. So that's him with his hat. For stitches. And this is an older one. This is from 2010. So it's one of the first ones that she did when she first started the shop. But yeah, so back to Emmy, this gorgeous unicorn. She is made out of Vanna's Choice, and the body and the head and all that, the white is called Fisherman. Awesome. The sun decided to come out. It's actually cold today, and by cold I mean in the 60s. So this is Fisherman is the white, and then the hooves are beige, and then this little band here. Oh, hi, Biscuits. There's Biscuits. Where are you going? She's gonna knock something over, I can tell you now. But this band here is rose, and I absolutely love this color combo of the Fisherman and the rose and the beige. I'm gonna have to make a scarf or something out of it. Please don't knock over all of my amigurumi cat. She does it all the time. Anyway, and then for the main colors, there's the rose again on the bottom, and then this is dusty purple, and then here's the sage, which is what I used for Howie's eyes, and I really love this color too. It goes so well with the purple and the rose. This is Kelly green, so it's kind of a Christmassy green, which I also used for that Afghan with the lemon. And then I used mustard, which I'll show you my Malia Infinity scarf. That's the same color. That's the mustard. This is pumpkin. Oop, the orange is pumpkin. And then the red is scarlet, which I also used for that Afghan. And so the same colors are in the tail, but this, for the mane, I stacked the colors, which is what the pattern recommends. Okay, it's knocking things over. And then for the tail, I kind of mixed them up. So I did two colors together in the same stitch when I pulled it through. And then I just went back and forth so that they would be mixed up. Of course, there are only 7 colors, so that there's just 2 pinks instead of 2 different colors. Yeah, and then I made a little heart. I'll put up, this is a free heart pattern on Ravelry. I tried like 3 or 4 different heart patterns for the applique, and 3 out of the 4 of them didn't look like hearts. So I found one that finally looks like a heart, and did that so you can see the heart. It's really cute, and I'm so happy with this. Oh, the horn is mustard too, by the way. I really loved this horse pattern when I did it before. It's really tedious, so you'll notice that the mane is a little bit brushed out and the tail is not, because this takes forever. And I was like, I can't, I'm done. And I think it actually works. I think if I ever make this again, which I will, because I have a lot of leftover yarn and I want one for myself, I won't brush out the mane or the tail, because it's just, it's too much work. And I've lost several tooths on my comb. And I think that the regular yarn looks just as good. It looks fine when you're doing these different colors and stuff. So anyway, so this is, yeah, she's so pretty and I love her so much. And I'm really glad that Sarah is going to get to give this away as a gift. I think that it will be really special. These little feet, so cute. And actually the pieces worked up really fast. I had remembered making the horse and then being like, no, I can't do this anymore. But I think it was because of the mane and brushing it out. And so if I don't do that, I think it'll be a little bit less tedious to make. Now Peanut is sniffing all of my bags of yarn. Yeah, so I really love it. I think it's great. I'm going to make a whole bunch of them one of these days. You know how that goes. But I love it. And I think what I'll do, because I do like the rainbow colors, because unicorns, but I think if I do it again, I would do just the purple and the rose and the sage, because I just think those colors are so beautiful together. Maybe adding in the mustard or something to break it up a bit, but instead of it being like a rainbow unicorn, just being like a pastel unicorn or something, because why the heck not? But yeah, so this is Emmy, the unicorn, and I am going to take them, I'm going to take a couple pictures so I can put them up on my Instagram and put them up here and everything. And then I'm going to take them to the post office and get them sent off so that they can get there on time. And then I am going to get everything ready and finish recording. And so I will be back to finish up this video. And it'll all be in one thing when you finally see it. So I will see you all again soon. Bye. Okay, so my other finished object, I also already gave away because it was for my friend Brenda. And I was able to have lunch with her on Friday, so I finished it up Thursday night and gave it to her when I saw her. But it's the exact same scarf that I had made before, and she loved it when she saw it, and so I made her one. And so I have the one that I made for myself to show you. And I showed this was a work in progress last week, so you saw it a little bit. But this is the Malia Infinity Scarf by Rebecca Langford of Little Monkeys Crochet. And it's just a beautiful pattern. The textures are so wonderful, this bean stitch and the ribbing, and when you add the buttons, it just makes like this huge difference. The contrast of the shape going this way and then transitioning here, and then the color for these buttons just works perfect with the mustard color. So the yarn is Vanna's Choice in Mustard from Lion Brand, and I just absolutely, I love this scarf, and anytime I'm wearing anything that will go with it, I wear it. I think I actually wore it last night when we went out for dinner, so I love this scarf, and I'm really glad that I got to make one for Brenda because she's really special to me, and so making something for her was really special, and I love it. So that's all of my finished objects. I had planned on doing so many other things this week, but then because of the commissions and realizing that I had to send it to Virginia so it could get there by tomorrow, I worked diligently on Emmy and Howie, and so that was really the main thing that I did this week. But I do have some whips, well, really just one that I've actually worked on this week. So I showed you last week my whip to be was my Naona shawl from Vicki Designs and her January shawl club. And so ever since I finished the unicorn and the penguin, I've been working just non-stop on this shawl. So this is the Naona shawl, like I said. Uh-oh, I dropped the yarn. And it's been living in my knitting chickens bag, which is so cute. I love it so much. Knitting chickens. See if I can get this yarn. This is how much I have left. I'm almost done. I only have like 3 rows left. It's a pretty quick make, and it's been going well, but this is it so far. And I love it. It's so pretty, and it's gonna be really nice and lacy, which of course is perfect for Southern California. It's actually cold again. It rained last night, and by cold I mean 60. Just still pretty warm for some places, but for here that's pretty chilly. But I just love the pattern on this. It's got the granny stitches and then some really open, like lacy parts. I have 2 more of these and then the edging to do, and then I'm done. And it's really pretty. And it turns out that there's a granny cal going on, and I didn't realize it when I started making this, but then I realized as I was doing the stitch, I was like, oh, this is a granny stitch. So I'm gonna do it for the granny cal, and I'll put all the details for that. Let's see, I wrote it down somewhere. It's somewhere, but the Granny Cal. So I'll put all the details in there in the drop down for that. But yeah, I love this. This is her Vicki Brown Designs. It's her 4-ply. Let's see if I can find the, there it is. Four-ply sock, Vicki Brown Designs. 4-ply sock, so it's 95% superwash and 5% stellina. So I don't know if you could see the sparklies, but it's got sparklies on it. 366 meters to 100 grams, which is a lot. I'll have to look and put in here what 366 meters is in yards, because of course, US, we think in US standard instead of metric, which, whatever. But I really love this yarn. It's really lacy and wonderful and easy to work with. It hasn't split or anything like that. It's pretty smooth. It's been a lot of fun. And then you'll see my stitch marker. Whoops, it's backwards. I got this from Catherine of Crafternoon Treats and her Christmas, and I use it all the time because it's always Christmas. I still haven't taken down most of my Christmas decorations, so. Naona shawl, and I'm really excited. By next, I'll definitely finish it today and then block it, so by next week it'll be a finished object, and I'm really excited about that. I'm still going to work on my Woodsy cowl and Woodsy scarf and my Calm cowl, so that hopefully those are done next week too. I feel like the Calm cowl is just something that I'll work on every now and then. If I know I'm gonna have a couple minutes, I could take a small bag with me somewhere. I'll get done when it gets done. I did like half a row this week when I was waiting for my interview, so it is what it is. But I'm really excited to finish this and be done. Which brings me, oh, actually, I do have one more whip. I'll put a picture of it up here. Last night when my husband and I went out for Valentine and Jobiversary, as I like to call it. So it was Valentine's Day, our anniversary, and then celebrating my, passing my interview and everything. We also went to Color Me Mine. There was one right next to the restaurant, and I had not been there in a million years. Neither had my husband, but we were like, why not? And as we were looking around to find the thing that we wanted to paint, if you don't know what Color Me Mine is, it's a store where they have just blank, I don't know about blank, unfinished, unpainted ceramics, and you get to paint them in whatever design you want, and then they glaze and fire them, and then you go pick it up and you get to take it home. So we were picking out what we wanted to paint, and I turned around and I saw yarn bowls, and I was like, ah, yarn bowl! So I painted this yarn bowl. I realized I'm not a great painter, but it is beautiful and I love it because I made it. It's gonna be very special to me. And so they have it. I'll get to go pick it up next week, but I took a picture of it before we left, so that's unglazed and unfired. And luckily, I do know a little bit about photography, even if... Biscuits, please don't do that to my chair. Thank you. A little bit about photography, even if I don't know much about painting. But it was fun. And then Adam did a plate, and he painted like a close-up of a guitar on it, which was pretty cool. So he's a better drawing artist than I am, but they're both pretty great, and I'm excited. So maybe not the next podcast, but the one after that, I'll be able to do it. Depends on when I am able to go pick it up. Anyway, whips to be, I have some updates. So I talked last episode about the Fortune CookieCAL, which is being done by Claudia of Crochet Luna. And this cal is you crack open a fortune cookie, or you use an online fortune cookie generator, an online fortune generator without the cookie, and then you make something off of that. And mine was Your Courage Will Bring You Honor. And so from that, I decided I wanted to make a blur shawl from Deanne of Addydae Designs. And I talked last week about thinking about the yarn I wanted to use, and so I contacted Molly Klein from Molly Klein Designs on Etsy. I showed you some of her yarn last week, the sweet tea yarns that I got. And I just asked her, I said, hey, this is what's going on. This is my idea. Can you dye some yarn for me? And she immediately responded, yes. She was super excited about it. So I'm now super excited about that too. So we picked some colors. She is dyeing those this week, and then we'll send them out to me. She's gonna do a project bag and, you know, stitch markers and all that kind of fun stuff. And I'm so excited. And I'll be showing you those certainly when they come in. And then I will immediately begin working on the Blur shawl because I'm super excited about it. I can't wait. So I also found out that through a comment on my last episode that Elizabeth from Earl Grey Crochet, the Earl Grey Crochet podcast, is doing a BlurreAlong. So she is also in Australia, which is where Deanne of Addydae Designs is. And so she's doing a BlurreAlong where you get to make your Blur shawl together. And so I am gonna do it for that too. So why not? I'll double dip a little and get to kind of connect with people in both of those different communities and those different Ravelry groups. So the Fortune CookieCAL starts on February 16th, which is the Lunar New Year, which is, I think this is this Friday. Yep, if Wednesday's the 14th, then Friday's the 16th. And I don't remember how long it goes, but I think you have at least a month to finish your project and post it on the Ravelry group. And I'll post all of the link to the Ravelry groups below too. And then the BlurreAlong started on January 30th and goes until April 30th, I think. I think I double checked that in the Ravelry group. Or I guess April 30th. I thought she said right after Easter, which is April 1st, but anyway, sometime through April. I imagine I will be done way before then because I'm super excited about this shawl. So again, I'll post all that information in there. I'm super excited about these cals. They just keep showing up. So my next whip to be is the Oswin shawl by Bernadette. I'll show you more of that a little bit later in my Stashay Away because those components are some new things that I've gotten. But I was looking on Instagram and I saw this gorgeous shawl, and it was on Yarnery's Instagram. I'll put it here how it's spelled, because I assume I'm pronouncing it wrong. But she had made one, the shawl, the Oswin shawl, for a sample for the Yarn Over truck, which I will also talk about in a little bit. And I was like, I have to make this shawl. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But that's another thing that I'm definitely going to be making soon, probably at the expense of other projects, which just seems to be how things go. But I want to make things that I'm excited about, so if some other things have to wait, they don't have deadlines, so it's okay. So we'll go ahead and go to Stashay Away, because that kind of fills in my whips to be in a lot of ways. The first thing, though, I mentioned last episode that I had was one of the winners of the One Skein Wonderland Cal, which was put on by Faye of Crochet Circle Podcast and Charlie of Love Charlie Crochet Podcast. And so as a winner, I was sent my prize in the mail, and I'm super excited because what I got was the accessories project. This is book 1, and this is Joan Scrace and Kat Golden of the Crochet Project, and they just do some really beautiful stuff with crochet. It's doing some really interesting new things, using really nice yarns, just elegant crochet, I would call it. And so I got this book and I'm super excited. I'm gonna be looking through it and figure out, I've got a couple of new yarns that I have that I think will work really well for some of these projects. And so I'm really excited. I'm gonna make some hats, gonna make some scarves, may even make some fingerless mitts. So I don't really need full-size mitts, but some fingerless mitts will be fun. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this. Thank you so much, Faye and Charlie. Faye also sent me this really sweet card, and Faye and Charlie sent me this really sweet card, and I just am so grateful to them for all that they have done for that. It was a really fun cal, and it really introduced me to a whole lot of podcasters and patterns and taught me how to use Ravelry in different ways, and so it was just really awesome, and I very much appreciate it. So thank you both so much, and I look forward to participating in every single other cal that you do, because I can and I want to. It makes me happy. She also sent me this really nice tea. It's peppermint and licorice, And so I actually decided that I would go ahead and have that today. I've already had plenty of coffee and tea, and this is caffeine free. So I figured that would be good. And of course it's in my Disneyland mug. We live about 15-20 minutes from Disneyland, and I go there all the time. So another thing that makes me happy. That's good. It's a little sweet, nice and herby. Good tea. Okay, so I mentioned when I was talking about the Oswin shawl, something called the yarn over truck. And if you have never heard of this before, it is amazing. So it's a truck, kind of like a food truck, but everything's on the inside. It doesn't like open up on the outside. But it's full of yarn. And when I saw the post on Instagram for this shawl, the person who runs it, the Instagram, talked about the yarn over truck and that it was in Southern California. And I was like, I'm in Southern California. So I looked it up, and I think this was Friday. I looked it up, and they were gonna be in Escondido, which is my hometown where my parents still live. It's like an hour and a half south of me. That it was gonna be there on Sunday and at a winery, and a really nice winery. And so I called my mom and I was like, we have to go to this. And so we went and walked through the truck, and I bought some yarn, and then we went and got some wine and cheese and salami and just sat in this beautiful setting, and it was like pure bliss. That's a good thing that truck moves around, because otherwise I would be doing that all of the time. So it was a really nice treat. And I did get some yarns from them, so I will show you those. See, this is their little logo. It says knitting needles and crochet hooks. They appreciate both. Thank you very much. And the first thing that I got that I'll show you are these beauties. So these are from Western Sky Knits, which is out of Montana, and Leicester, Montana. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. But these are their Twinkle sock, which is 75 superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. And it's 438 yards for 3.5 ounces. I think that's 100 grams. They feel like 100 grams. Again, I'll Google it and I'll let you know. But these are just so beautiful. So I got, this is like a dark navy, and you can see the stellina, the sparkly, and it has a little bit of variation, so some lighter and some darker. And then I thought, and this is called Twinkle Brooks Blue. And then I thought that this would be a really nice color to go with it, with the grays and the blues. You can see some reddish orange, the lighter blue, but they would be really good together. This is Twinkle Downtown. And I just thought these would be beautiful together, and I wanted to try them. They're both fingering weight and are kind of my colors. Like, I would definitely wear something made out of these for sure. And so I want to try to find a pattern that has like the main color is the blue, and then this is either kind of intermittent throughout, or there's a section of it, a block of it or something. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. They're just so squishy, and the fact that they were sparkly made me happy. So, and I had thought that working with the stellina would be difficult, or I wouldn't like it because it would get in the way, or it would make it split or anything like that. But then doing the Naona shawl with the stellina, you don't even notice it, except that it's beautiful and sparkly. So excited about these. I'm already getting hair on them. And then the other that I got are what I'm gonna do the Oswin shawl with. So at least one of them. So these are lace weight. These are from the Yarn Over truck. It's their lace that they have dyed. And this is 100% superwash. It's single ply, and you get 800 yards to 115 grams. And so this is the blue, right? Clearly I really like blue. It's showing up a little bit lighter in the, yeah, it's pretty close. It's a little bit lighter, but this is absolutely gorgeous. It's the dark blue, and if you can see, it's got some kind of greens in it and a little bit of purple, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And this is bright blue is the colorway. It's a marbled, this is Yarn Over Truck Lace Marbled Bright Blue. And then this one is red. Same thing, but red. And look at that. I would actually call this purple, but maybe when you actually make it up, because it's lace, it lightens up and it looks more red. So this is the red. I definitely want to make the Oswin out of this. And when I go through the patterns that I've gotten in my Stashay Away, you'll see how that'll work together. But these are absolutely gorgeous. I'm definitely going to be using this to make the Oswin, and then if it's a relatively quick make, I will probably do another one in this color. Maybe I'll give it away, maybe not. Maybe I'll hold on to it and see if it'll be an appropriate Christmas present when the time comes, because I need to start those like now in order to finish them on time, as I learned last year. So those were from the Yarn Over Truck, and it's just yarnovertruck.com. They go all throughout Southern California. They're going to be at Stitches West, which is happening, I think, right now, if not soon, or it already happened. It's around this time. All different places all throughout Southern California, so that's amazing. And where they were on Sunday was the Orfila Winery in Escondido, and it was gorgeous. It was actually the first time I'd ever been to that particular winery. There's another one in San Diego, in Escondido. That's also where Stone Brewery is, so I've been there. But the winery was beautiful. The wine was delicious. It's just a gorgeous setting. I'll put up some pictures from the Yarn Over Truck and from the pictures that I took of the yarn at the winery. Didn't take any pictures of the wine. I'm sure you know what wine looks like. Yeah, so I will show you. Yeah, I put that in here that way. That makes sense. So I will show you the Oswin shawl. So, try not to shake the camera too much. This is the Oswin shawl. Look at how beautiful that is. It is just absolutely gorgeous. So it's really lacy. It's gorgeous. Like, I can't get over how beautiful it is. I love the lace pattern here on the bottom, and just, it looks so super drapey and gorgeous. It has a granny stitch here at the top, and I'm definitely going to make this and gonna love it. So it's by, I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, Berniolie Designs. Bernadette is the woman's name, and it calls for 3 skeins of 50-gram lace weight, so I should have plenty. The Instagram poster, Yarnery, I think is how you pronounce it, said that they used 1 skein of the Yarn Over Truck lace and still had some left over, so that should be just perfect. But so I'm gonna make this out of this, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be so pretty. I can't wait. Oh, hello, Meatball. You wanna come say hi? Oh gosh, don't knock over anything. Come here, cat. Come here. Don't knock anything over, please. Oh, you're so big. Oh, so this is Meats, Mr. Meatball. Y'all haven't met him yet, except in pictures, so this is Mr. Meats making his podcast debut. Okay, no, that way. He's a big cat. Anyway, so excited about that. So another thing that another yarn that I just got, I ordered in the mail a little while ago. It came from the UK, so I just got it. I think I got it like right after I filmed last time, actually. Anyway, I ordered some Crafternoon Treats yarn. So this is from Catherine of Crafternoon Treats. She has a website, an Etsy, podcast. She's actually one of the first podcasters that I started watching for crochet. And so she did a video about a shop update, and I was like, I have to get something. So I did, and these are what I got. So this is the, oh, it got dark, clouds. This is her Fabulous 4 base. It's a lace weight. It's 25% Masham, 25% Romney lamb's wool, 25% British alpaca, 25% blue-faced something. It looks French. I can't pronounce it, and I don't want to mispronounce it, so this is it. Catherine specifically uses British sourced wools and goes to her local wool place. I can't think of the name of it right now, and gets them. And so I really appreciate that it's a local to her, small business supporting kind of thing. And then this is the stained glass window colorway. And I'll tell you, I kept looking at this and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like it, because it seems, just with the yellows and things in there, I was like, I don't know. But then she did her video about her shop update. Drop my yarn. And she used this to make her flame shawl. So it's a lace weight flame shawl. And it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. And so I realized that when you make it up, these colors they're still there. They're not muted in any way, but they're not bunched together because it's lace weight. So it's really lacy, and you see them more as like an individual color instead of in these all put together. So I am gonna make the flame shawl. I ordered that. It's from Inside Crochet Magazine, and so I ordered that back issue and actually went ahead and subscribed. And I thought about doing the digital version, but I'm a paper person when it comes to patterns, and I was going to print them out anyway, so I figured I might as well. So when that comes, I will make this, I'll make the flame shawl up in this Crafternoon Treats yarn. And the other one that I saw, and I knew that I was going to love, and is absolutely gorgeous, is this lovely. So this is the Go With The Flow colorway, and this is her South Atlantic lace. So this is 100% British Falkland Merino. So it's just a single type of wool. And I just love these colors, the pinks and the pastel-y colors, and then there's a little bit of a dark streak of that orange in there, and I love this. If I really like the Oswin pattern, I may try to find Berniolie, Bernadette has so many gorgeous lace weight shawl patterns. So I may try to make one of her others out of this once I get that far, but this one is so soft. And I just love it. It's perfect for spring. These colors are perfect for spring. So I'll make myself an Easter shawl using that. And I have a little bit of time because Easter is not till April 1st. April Fool's Day and Easter. That's an interesting combination. Anyway, so my other yarns that I got, in order to make Emmy, the unicorn, I had to go to Michael's to get some other colors in the Vanna's Choice. And you saw those in the my finished objects. I had to get the sage and the dusty purple. I already had plenty of the mustard, and then I had to get the fisherman, the off-white. And so while I was there, of course, Michael's is a dangerous place, I found some other yarns. And so I was, oh yay, new subscriber! I just got a notice on my phone that I got a new subscriber. So while I'm making my podcast number 2, so meta. So I went and got a couple of other yarns while I was at Michael's. They were on sale and they're new. So first thing I saw was this bad boy. So I believe this is new. It's Karen Chunky Cakes from Yarnspirations. And I had never seen the Chunky Cakes before. I hadn't been in Michael's in a while on purpose because I was buying all of these hand-dyed yarns. I certainly could not go to Michael's. But I think the Chunky Cakes are new, and I saw these colors and I immediately thought unicorn. Of course I had unicorn on the brain, but I just got, or actually a while ago, I got the Friends of CookieCAL book, the amigurumi book, and I think this would make a perfect, there's a unicorn in that book, and I thought this would go really well for doing the mane and the horn and the hooves and kind of the accessories for the unicorn. And these are perfect. This is really soft. It is 100% acrylic. So some of the Karen cakes are part wool. They're usually 80-20, 80 acrylic, 20 wool. But this is 100% acrylic, and it's really soft. And while I appreciate a little bit of wool in with the acrylic, it's not really washable. In the same way, you kind of have to be really careful when you wash it. And so having 100% acrylic means it's super washable. And so I got one of these. I got one in another very similar colorway. I'll use that to make like a lap blanket or something. I think my niece would really like those colors. And so I'll make her a lap blanket. And because it's chunky, it'll work up super quick. So yeah, they say that this is a 6. So this is super bulky and will work up really fast. But so I thought this, and then that means giant unicorn, because who the heck does not want a giant unicorn? So I also got these thick and quick bundles from Lion Brand. So I've gotten the Touch of Alpaca. If you look in my Ravelry projects, you'll see the Parkway scarf that I made from Mowgli, from Tamara. And so these bundles are like an amazing deal. It's like 10 bucks for this giant thing of yarn, and then they were buy 2 get 1 free. So I went ahead and got 3 of these, and I figured giant unicorn. So I'm going to try to use this to make an amigurumi unicorn. This is the colorway Fisherman, which I really like. I'm not a huge fan of bright white. Don't ask me why. I like the more muted colors. So I like the Fisherman. This is also a super bulky. It's a 6. So they'll work together, even though they're from different companies. And there we go. So this is the Thick and Quick Lion Brand bonus bundle in Fisherman. They only have the bonus bundles at Michael's, I think. So if you live somewhere and you don't have a Michael's, then I apologize. You can get them online, but then of course you have to pay for shipping. So then how much of a deal is it really? But I'm excited to do that one of these days. You know how that goes too. My niece's birthday is in June, so that's kind of my time. She wants me to make her a mermaid tail blanket because I made one for my sister for Christmas, and she wants her own that matches, that's her size. And then I'll make her probably a lap blanket. This unicorn will be for me because I do not yet have my own unicorn that I want to keep. So anyway, moving on. Whew, I've gotten a lot of stuff. Now next week, I need to have a lot of finished objects and whips because I have such a big Stashay Away section this time. So anyway, next is patterns. So other than the Oswin, I also got a couple patterns this week. And the first is the Blur shawl. So I finally bought the pattern now that I know I have the yarn coming, and I went ahead and printed it out and got it all ready. Look at how beautiful that is. This is the first time I will have done anything that has a fade. That the yarn doesn't do it itself, that you do an intentional fade with the colors. Part of my Fortune CookieCAL, and then also, of course, the BlurreAlong. And this is from Deanne of Addydae Designs. I bought this on Ravelry from her. And I'll put all the prices of all of these things up when I do the video. I don't necessarily want to talk about it, but it'd be a good thing to know. So I did the Blur, and then because I was already there, and because she had it on sale, I also got the Blurred Line sweater. So I've been watching podcasts this week, and like everyone is getting this sweater. So I'm really excited for Deanne, for Addydae Designs, and I'm also really excited to make this. And I shouldn't have, but I couldn't help myself. I bought the yarn to make this already, and so I just got the notification that it's shipped today. So you'll see it next time. And I can't wait to show you this yarn. It's from a new dyer. Their Etsy shop is brand new, so I can't wait to show it to you. But anyway, the Blurred Lines sweater. And I was a little worried. I got to tell you, when I am looking at all of these beautiful sweaters, I am a little hesitant to purchase patterns because they're made for people who are much smaller than I am. And so I was a little worried. I was like, well, it's never going to fit me, or I'm going to have to buy like a ridiculous amount of yarn to make it big enough. But one of her testers I saw was plus size. And so I was like, oh, I got this. I can do that. So as a plus size person, I really appreciate that. And with my measurements for the bust, I think I can get away with an extra large. This one, I've read it through it a little bit. It seems to be a top down, so I'll be able to, if I get to I finish the bust section and it's too small or too tight, then I can pull it out and make the double X, and go from there. Because the extra large, and the good thing about this too that I really appreciated is the sizing goes all the way up to a 4X. So I just really appreciate that. As someone who needs to make the bigger sizes, I really appreciate that. Because I did buy a pattern once, and I made the whole front panel, and I made it in the largest size possible in the pattern, and it was still like way too small. So I appreciate that. And I look forward to making that. I do want to make still my favorite crochet pullover from Katie and the Squid first, because it seems like a really like get started in a pullover sweater pattern, and so I want to do that first, and I'm actually going to start winding the yarn for that. I know I said that I wouldn't work on that until I finished my favorite crochet pullover, but I just can't get myself to work on it, and I think that I'll be able to work on the my favorite crochet pullover, so it'll get done eventually. Yeah, so that's everything that I have acquired in the last little while. It's a lot of stuff. So like I said, no more buying, more making. And we'll go from there. But one of the other things that I've been doing a lot of this week is watching other podcasts. So I found a couple of new podcasters, and I just wanted to tell you who they are so you can find them too. The first is Holly at Yarn Journey Crochet. She's in Virginia, and I gotta ask her where, since I lived in Richmond for a long time. And my husband's from Northern Virginia. But anyway, Holly at Yarn Journey Crochet. It was really fun because she mentioned me in her most recent podcast. We had been kind of commenting on each other's stuff back and forth. And like hearing someone else talk about my podcast was like, oh my gosh, I feel so special. So I'm really glad to be watching her stuff. She's a lot of fun. I think we would be friends. So hi, Holly. The other is Mose at Unseen Strands. I don't remember if I told you about her before, but I've really been enjoying seeing the things that she's making. And her story is really fascinating to me. She is visually impaired. She's legally blind and crochets and crafts and does all of these amazing things, and so you should check her out. Her videos are mostly images with her narrating. It's not a video like this, but it's a lot of fun to see what she's making. The other is Michelle at Micky Midge. That's been a lot of fun to watch as well. And then I just discovered Emma at Potter and Bloom, who apparently does not need any introduction because she has a lot of subscribers, but if you haven't checked her out yet, you should. The things she makes are also really beautiful. And then, of course, Elizabeth at Earl Grey Crochet. Once somebody told me about her BlurreAlong, I was like, oh, okay. And I started watching her podcast, and I've had a lot of fun with that as well. I look forward to seeing what she's going to do. And it also turns out that Molly at Klein Designs has her own podcast too. So I have her yarn. She's making some more yarn for me. I'm going to get a project bag and all that kind of stuff. And then I'll get to watch her podcast. I haven't had a chance to watch a full video yet because I've also been watching the Olympics, of course. Figure skating anyway. But I'm excited to watch hers too. And then there was another one that I also just discovered. And so I'll put that up. I'll talk about it next week after I watch her video. Because she also started about the same time as me. So it's all very exciting. This is going to be a long video. I'll probably have to cut some of it out. Because I have that other part about my actual finished objects in there. So yeah, I am having such a good time, and I'm really loving the podcasting and being a part of the community and talking to people on Ravelry and just doing all of this beautiful crocheting and enjoying every minute of it. It's so much fun. And so thank you all for watching, for liking and subscribing, for commenting, for being here, making it all the way to the end of this video. And please do continue to comment and to like and to subscribe. I'd love suggestions, patterns, yarns, podcasters, CookieCALs, all that kind of fun stuff. And I will do another video. I ended up doing this video on a Tuesday because I found out on Friday that I was going to go to the yarn truck, and I wanted to show you that. And then, of course, I had to work all day yesterday and didn't get home till it was dark, and then we went out to dinner for our anniversary. So I'm not going to make any commitments on when videos are going to come out. I work too much for that, and my life is too unpredictable in my schedule to make those promises. But ideally, I would film or record, because we don't use film anymore. I would record on Saturdays and get the podcasts out on Sundays. And it seems to me like I'm going to have plenty to talk about week by week. There may be some weeks where it's shorter, but that's not a bad thing. So I will try to do that again this week. Hopefully I have a lot more finished objects and whips to show you. I will have a couple of Stashay Aways, because things that I've already ordered that are on their way that aren't here yet. My Knit Picks box is on the way. Not Knit Picks, Knit Crate. My Knit Crate box / bag is on its way. All that kind of fun stuff. So, thanks again, and I will see you next week, and I will see you online. So, bye!